Hello, Khadija.
Hi, Professor. How are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Excellent.
Hi, Professor.
Look who it is. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Well, we're back. We're back. We're here, living in the computer again.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird.
I know. How are you? How's your family? How are the kids?
Kids are good. Family's good. School, home, regular housework. Nothing more. You had a good summer?
It was nice to
Well,
it was nice to get away for a few months.
it didn't happen to me. Had the summer classes.
What'd
It
you
was.
take? What'd you take in the summer?
I took speech. I took history, and it was a lot.
How were those classes? Were they good classes?
Well, yeah, it was good. It was a lot of info, especially the history, because I did not know much about American history. So it was pretty much a lot. So, but I had an A in that class because I don't know, I just can't another way.
I know. That would be my guess. If I had to guess, that's what I would guess.
Yeah, so it was pretty much a lot of like
Reading?
up nights and reading. So I was just reading and reading and reading, but it was really interesting.
Oh, good. That's good.
Well, I learned some things.
Cool. Are those to transfer? Like, was that class, is that gonna class
Yeah.
to transfer?
Yes, those classes were definitely transferred, but I need to take another 2 history classes. So basically, I still have a lot to go. I don't know why I thought it's gonna be only 16 general education units, but I guess it's gonna be a lot more. So
I see.
back in ARC for a long time.
Do you want to do Sac State or Davis, or does it matter?
Sac State, I just want to go there.
Cool.
For now, I don't know yet.
Yeah, hey, it's all good.
I don't know if it's gonna help or not, but this semester I just want to kind of change my habits because I feel like I am just hurting myself because it's just like I have to be on top of it. It's just my personality, I just can't go like when I see I can't do it, I just want to do it. It's just like I just can't. It just bugs me. But at the same time, I have to take care of my kids, like the family, and those kind of things. It's very hard to combine them together.
Yeah.
When you're alone, it's different. You're just like concentrating on your stuff. It's you and your the work and stuff. But when there is a family and there is a kids, it's hard.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, this class, there'll be stuff to do, but it's the same type of style you're used to from me. So it's not, like you can kind of do it at your own speed. Hopefully this class won't be one where you're stressed about due dates and stuff,
Yeah, at least I know that. No,
So-
I'm not worrying about this. Like honestly, the classes that I took, it's not hard. I got a math, so I'm good in math. What else I got? I got EC class, which is gonna be the like a field experience thing. So I'm gonna go to my kid's school.
Cool.
Yeah, I talked to the professor and I asked her if I can do it here because you have to have a COVID vaccine and I don't have it yet.
Okay.
So I was wondering if I can do it over there, and she said it's fine. I
Yeah.
don't know why. Got your COVID vaccine?
Yeah, well, if you get your COVID vaccine before, I can give you the date, but ARC will pay you $200 to get your vaccine.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
But I mean, if you're gonna get the vaccine so you can work in your kid's school, why not get $200 too? You know what I'm saying?
No, for my kids' school, I can go without the vaccine.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood.
Without vaccine, but I have to get the vaccine to go to the San Juan. And
I see. I misunderstood.
got your vaccine?
Did I?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
yeah. And how was it?
Totally fine. I didn't even have a headache. I didn't have anything. I got the Pfizer vaccine 3 weeks apart.
That's what I was wondering to get the Pfizer, but I don't know. It's just like so much people said so much stuff, and
The Pfizer just got full approval today. Like today,
I know.
I think just today they announced it. So
and it's good that if they approved it. But I don't know. I wanted it to go get it. So, before the college started, and then I went to LA, some of my family, the husband's side, they are doctors and stuff like that. And they're just like, oh, don't get the vaccine. No, don't get the vaccine.
yeah, there's lots of strong opinions. You know me. I'll tell you about myself. I think it's completely safe, but I understand everybody's figuring it out.
Things in it, like some, I don't know, like the medical terminology and then the shits. I'm sorry for my language, but yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I was gonna go get it, and now I'm so confused. But I'm still gonna get it because eventually we have to get it.
Yeah,
So,
for ARC.
not only for ARC,
For
that
Sac State.
San Francisco, you have to have the card to any place, the restaurant, anywhere, just stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's already getting there, so I have to take it.
Yeah, I think eventually, well, we'll see. Like I said, everyone's different for what they need to see to feel like they can trust and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I do trust it. Just like when there's too much stuff, people talk, and it just kind of messes with your,
Oh no, it's again, I'm it's the first day I saw Sydney come in. I saw iPhone. I don't know who iPhone is, but it's lovely to see you. If you don't know me yet, you guys, I'm always trying to be myself at all times, but I don't want to be too negative on the first day, Susanna. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy out there right now. Do you know what I mean? Like people's opinions, people's feelings, it's really intense right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is intense. So hopefully we'll get it.
iPhone says that they cannot hear me, but I know that I am hearable because I'm talking to Susanna. Khadija, I already said hello, and Khadija could hear me. iPhone, try this. Try to leave the meeting and come right back. Sometimes that will fix all audio issues. So go ahead and try that for me. Oh, you can hear me now. Good. Cool. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how you guys are going to be. Not you, Suzanne. I know you're very highly motivated, like you were saying. I know the type of student you are. I'm really curious, though, how like the kind of middle student is going to feel now for another semester of this Zoom stuff, man. I'm trying not to assume. I'm very curious. I'm tired of it. I know you guys must be a little bit tired of it.
Yeah, pretty much. So then why we're having the Zoom, the classes for this class? It's because of the vaccine problem. That's why you're having a Zoom, not in person.
I think our department only has 3 online classes, and the people who have way more power than me decided that those classes on campus would be low level. Like the idea, and I don't know, whatever, agree, disagree, whatever. The idea is higher level students like you guys, it's easier to learn online. But if you're at the really low level, you're just trying to learn, it's almost impossible to learn like, you know, the B verb, English 30 level online. So they made the decision that we only got 3 classes on the campus, and they decided that those would be low level classes this semester.
Interesting logic.
I know. I don't know. I see Abby coming in, and I see Linda. I know Linda. Linda's connecting to audio.
Hello, Professor. How are you?
I'm okay. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to see you too. Professor, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm alive. We're here.
Yeah, thank God. How's everything?
Yeah, everything's okay. I'm happy. You know, all that when you know, Linda and Susanna, you know, when it's just me with you guys, it's great. When it's all the other stuff and I'm talking to managers and email, that's the stuff that is not as much fun with everything online, but
But we're still alive. We're still online too.
I know, still alive, still online. That's it.
Hopefully this semester gonna be okay with all of us.
I think so. We'll make it work. You know what I mean?
What is it, Professor?
Oh, I just said we'll make it work. You know, we'll make it work. We got more people coming in.
Yes,
Go.
hopefully. Yes. Of course, because you are our teacher this semester too.
Let's see. All right, good. Who else? So I've got 7 of you so far. Okay. We'll see who else comes. It's 15 right now, but are there any easy questions I can answer before we get started? I'm sure you have lots of questions. It's the first day, but since you're here on time, anybody have questions they want answered right away?
I have a question.
Sure, Abby.
I'm so sorry. I'm super new to college and I didn't know what any of the little things meant.
Yeah.
I think I'm now realizing this is English as a second language class, and I is that what this is? I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. And you're it's a unique class because it is listed as an ESL class. However, this class, all of the students who are taking this have already passed transfer level English, either within the ESL department or within the regular English department. And this class also transfers for credit as a humanities elective at Sac State. So it's kind of a unique class, but it is listed as ESL.
Okay. This is my sorry, I've never gone to college before. That sounds weird.
No,
I don't know if I'm supposed to be in this class.
It's all good. How many units are you taking this semester?
I have to take 12 for the promise grant, and this got me up to 12.
Yeah, so I'd say this, Abby, stay with, if you can, if you want to.
Yeah.
Stay with me, and then let's talk after class.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, and I'll say for
Thank you.
anybody, like I know Linda, I know Susanna, right? This is not the type of language class where we're going to talk a lot about grammar. I mean, like we don't, it's not like I'm teaching you guys how to speak English. It's just that the materials for the course are sort of designed for multilingual or bilingual people. That's kind of the way that I design the class.
Okay.
Yeah. So hang out, and if 2 hours from now you are like, this is horrible, then tell me after and I'll help you make a plan.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Sydney, is that the same? I was looking at people who had like more American-ish looking names. And then I was like, is that Hiraway, Walters? Sydney, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Are you in the right place?
I think I'm in the same boat as Abby.
Okay. Do you
I'm so sorry.
No, it's
No,
not a problem.
you're fine.
It's not a problem at all. Do you need these units?
Yeah, so I didn't get an appointment with my counselor, so I did all my classes. Like I
Yeah.
studied them on my own.
It's a nightmare. Again, I
Yeah.
have a good attitude about, I try to have a good attitude about our challenges, but it's a nightmare right now for
Yeah.
student services. That's what I'm saying. Sydney, Abby, hi, Simon. Abby and Sydney and anybody else, if you need these units, stay with me for 2 hours. I promise it won't be too terrible. And then we can talk at the end about, do you want to stay in this class? Do you need this class? It is a transfer level class. So that's, it won't be useless. Like you can take these units to Sac State, but let's talk about it after class, if that's okay with you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And you guys, for people who don't know me too, you can use, you can type in the chat, you can mute and unmute yourself, you can use the emojis, whatever you guys need to do to respond, it's all good. And Sanad, I saw that you unmuted yourself. How you doing? Is everybody okay? What's going on? You're just saying hi.
Hello, Professor. Nice to meet you.
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm good, Professor. I just want to mention one point that I am at work and open my Zoom class. So I would be appreciated if you will permit me if I mute or close camera.
Of course, yeah. Well, of course,
Sometimes.
of course.
Thank you.
It's probably just me and Susanna, just like 325. Susanna was in my class too, not in the summer, but in the spring. And I think most days it was just you and me on the video, Susanna. I'll say this now over and over, but again, there's so much stuff going on right now in America, in the world. To keep yourself safe, to keep your loved ones safe, please turn your screen off, rename your, whatever you guys need to do, right? If you feel comfortable participating or typing in the chat, or like I said, even just giving an emoji, you can do that, but there's no, I don't have any expectation or make you guys do anything. I'm Amina. Amina, I don't know why you can't speak either. I just saw your comment, Amina. I don't know why I can't speak. Ask to unmute. I mean, is it your first? It's not your first time using Zoom. What is going on? We'll start in just a couple of minutes here since we're already running late here. Akiko, did I meet you in the lab?
Hello.
Hi. Did I meet you in the lab, Akiko?
Nice to meet you.
Did I meet you in the lab? Working in the lab?
No, Ralph.
Okay, no lab. Okay. Well, it's good to meet you, Akiko.
Nice to meet you. Now, gardener. So outside is very loud. So
No problem. I had people working on the street out in front of my my sister's house. So it was like, you know, construction. No, I totally understand. I totally understand.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, of course. Again, this is our new life now. It's all good. I mean, I wish I knew how to help you, but I'm not sure. Ask to unmute. Okay, I'm gonna start. Amina, if you're still don't know what's going on, my suggestion is exit the Zoom room and join back again. Like leave and then come back in. Sometimes that will help fix the sound problems. Oh, she's gone. Okay. She's like, okay, Jeff, you don't have to tell me twice. Dang. All right. Well, we've got Abby and Sydney, two non-ESL folks in the class. I love it. And I've got Susanna, who I know, Sanad, who I don't know yet, Akiko, Khadija, and maybe Amina connecting again. Amina.
We have such a small group.
I know. It's only 16, I think, people enrolled, but already she says yes. Okay, and you can hear me, Amina? Yeah, this class in the spring was really small too, Susanna. Okay, Amina, you can hear me. At least that's a start. And then if we need to figure out how to unmute you, we can do that too. All right. Well, hi, everybody. It is Monday, August 23rd. It's the first week of the fall 2021 semester. Pandemic Zoom college continues. For people who don't know me, I'm Jeff Morin. You can call me Jeff, you can call me Professor Jeff, or just call me Professor. Either of those are totally fine. And yeah, let's get started. So today I'll sort of do a welcome and a sort of icebreaker activity as a way for you to talk to each other and not just talk to me. And then just like you usually see on the first day of any class, we'll look at the syllabus together. I will show you how to use our Canvas course online, and I'll sort of show you the first introduction activities that I've opened up in Canvas for you to complete. Okay. Again, before we get going here, though, any questions, ideas, concerns? People already have muted themselves. Turn their video off if they don't want their video on. That is totally fine. If you do have something to say, you have a question, you want to participate, raise your hand, use the emoji, type in the chat, unmute yourself, whatever you need to do. This is not like there's only one way to do it in this class, okay? And the last thing I will say is, you probably heard when you came into the meeting, or you should have, I hope, that I record these Zoom meetings, right? I record the Zoom meetings and then I will post them in Canvas for you to watch later. Or if you cannot come to our weekly Zoom meeting, you can watch the Zoom videos, right? But again, because of the time we live in, privacy, safety, pandemic, all this stuff, if you don't want your name or you don't want your video to be posted, that's totally fine, right? Change your name in Zoom or turn the video off, whatever you need to do. But I just need to let you know, and I will let you know over and over again, I record the Zooms and I post them. So whatever you need to do to feel safe and secure in that context, right? Do that. Take care of yourself that way. Okay. Any questions about that before we get started today? Let's go. Oh, I saw Kiko give me the thumbs up. Thank you. Emoji thumbs up. Even those little emojis really help me, because you just think of your teachers, you guys. I'm just staring at black boxes. Usually I can see your happy faces, but it's just black boxes. Thank you. Now I'm getting lots of yellow thumbs. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs. Okay, I'm going to put you into small groups now. So again, in the small groups, important information, you're never being recorded in the small groups. Okay, so if you want, turn your video on. If you can, hopefully you can turn your microphone on and talk to each other. If you're at work and you can't, okay, that's fine. I understand. But here's what I want you to talk to each other about, right? This class is called Multilingual Literature, basically, right? This is a literature class. So a sort of way to talk to each other and meet one another. I want you to talk about these two questions. One, what do you think about when you see this word literature, right? It's a big academic word, but what does it actually mean for you? And two, what is something specific that you hope to learn this semester in this class, right? And if you're like, I don't know what this class is, I just signed up and why am I in an ESL class? That's fine, share that with your group. But yeah, at least talk about those. And then of course, the usual questions, right? Just introduce yourself to your classmates. Who are you? Where are you from? What classes are you taking? All that good stuff that just kind of happens. I'm just going to do two big groups so that you all can meet as many people as possible, okay? And I'm going to start with at least 15 minutes. This first day and even next week is really about a little bit of trying to build some kind of community for this class so that you don't feel like it's just you sitting alone in your bedroom. So talk about those two questions and then anything else that you want to talk about, like normal human beings, okay? I will type those questions into the announcement. Like I'll post those so that you can see them when you're in your small groups. But any questions about this before I put you in your groups? Okay, I'll be here in the main room if you need anything, but I'm going to open up the rooms in about 10 seconds. All right, I'll see you guys in about 10, 15 minutes. Hey, Frank.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent. We're in small groups. I'm going to put you in with one of the groups and they'll sort of tell you what we're doing, but we're just sort of talking, meeting each other, saying hello and talking a little bit about the class, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. I'm going to put you into room 2.
Okay.
Hey, we are back.
Perfect.
Hi, Professor.
Hi, Khadija. All right, room 2 is back. Room 1 is just about coming back. Susanna, did you know Linda already?
Yeah, we.
Yes, I
started
talked to her.
It was like nice to meeting her.
Yeah, I,
Nice
know, I
to
was
meet
saying,
you.
did
Thank
you
you.
already know her? No, no, no. You weren't in the same class.
I knew her, but I know her
Oh.
now.
She's a very, yeah, you could, good match there, good match. Also very, very smart and high energy, intelligent women students.
Yes,
Thank you, Professor.
all good over here.
I only tell the truth. All right, hopefully it was nice to at least hear the voice of other people in this class. Again, if you're Linda, if you're Susanna, you already know, I don't like to just lecture for 3 hours. I think it's really important that you all talk to each other. And this is a language class, right? Even if it's not just ESL, right? But just it's about language and literature. So it's good to use language sometimes instead of just listening. So I would love to hear what you all had to say. Hopefully you talked about real life too, but I'd love to hear anything that you shared with your group about what is literature and then something that you want to learn. And again, I was thinking about Abby and Sydney. If you didn't know exactly what class you were signing up for, maybe you have no idea what you want to learn. And that's totally fine. But if you do have a specific goal or something that you really want to learn in this class, I'd love to hear that, because it just helps me, you know, tailor this class, tailor like making clothes, right? It just helps me make this class more relevant and for all of you. So type in the chat, unmute yourself and speak, but I'd love to hear from at least a few of us.
Okay.
Yeah, Khadija, please.
Yeah, it's literature is about reading story or books and writing, publish it, particular subject, and something like that.
I love it. Oh, I made the word publishing in caps because that's really interesting that Khadija brings up publishing in connection to literature. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else, Khadija? I love it. Anything else?
Yes, I have.
Oh, hold on, Frank. I want to hear from you, but I just want to make sure Khadija is done. Anything else, Khadija?
Okay.
No, I'm done.
Okay, Frank, you're up.
Okay. I like to take this your class.
Yeah.
So I want to learn how to write my own stories.
Ooh, okay.
So that's I try to do my purpose to take this course. We see how it's I come up to.
Cool.
That's my purpose.
I love it. I'm going to call that, yeah, creative writing, because Susanna took 325 with me. You know, in that class, we do a lot about narratives, sort of our own personal stories, maybe about our own life. But yeah, this class, and maybe that's what you want to do too, Frank. In this class, though, more we'll read and talk about sort of what we could call fiction, right? Stories that we create, stories that we invent, or stories that we adapt or change. So absolutely, that's why I mean creative writing there, Frank. It just means, you know, you want to make up a story and then write that story out. So I love it. Anything else, Frank?
No, that's gonna be a fiction or non-fiction.
Fiction. This class is more about, yeah. If you've taken 325 or English 300 or ESLW 340, you've done a lot of research writing. This class, we get to have a little bit more creativity, you know.
Okay.
Quiet.
All right. Thank you.
Frank got nervous there. Susanna, yeah, I see your hand, Susanna.
I was gonna say, when we talk about that with our group, when we see the word literature, we kind of imagine like a creative imagination.
Yeah.
So that will include like a poetry, you know, the fiction and nonfiction fiction, drama. So we would just imagine those kind of things, which will transfer to a written form.
Mm.
So we were just talking about that, and what we want to learn from this class. We want to learn how to write, you know, in the style of poetry, you know, how you're writing the drama, you know, because those are different styles. So we would love to learn, you know, some insights.
Cool.
I love.
Maybe you've seen this word before. Genre is just an academic word.
Yeah.
Style, right? So the
Yeah.
style, the genre of poetry, the genre of, we're not going to do drama unless we have time. We'll see. But we'll definitely do poetry. We start with poetry.
I love writing in those styles.
Yeah, I too.
I don't have like academic experience, but you know, when I write, I just like to do creative.
Perfect. Yeah, well, you'll see. I love it. Well, for people who are, I see a few other people came in, Tahmina, maybe a few people who are coming in now, but I'll just say, we'll go through the syllabus, but we start with sort of, we do a balance, right? Part of this class, the reason that it does transfer to Sac State and UC Davis, this class transfers to Sac State and to the Cal States and UCs, because we do a little bit of that creative writing, right? Write your own creative story, write your own creative poems. We start there. And then by the end of the semester, we'll do a little bit more academic, where I'll sort of teach you how to write when you analyze plays and books and poetry and stuff. Now, again, like, you're not getting a degree in literature. I'm not expecting you to write a 10-page literary analysis paper, but I am going to show you sort of what literary analysis means, right? So instead of, you know, you read a book and you go, ooh, I liked it or I didn't like it. Well, maybe you want to analyze that book for how you think it shows men and women in a society. Or maybe you want to analyze that book for how it talks about class, rich people and poor people, right? This is the type of balance that we'll do in this class, some creative writing, poems and stories, and how to analyze creative writing that you have read. So anyway, just to sort of touch on some things that Susanna brought up there. Anything else, Susanna?
No.
Perfect. Anybody else? I'd love to hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Please.
Okay, Professor. What is literature? It means what we were doing in the class: reading, writing, quizzes, practicing, reading the stories, especially for essay or paragraphs. We were creating the brainstorms, share our information. That's all what the meaning of literature.
Love it. Reading, writing. And there was a lot of like, and then there was some stuff about brainstorming and kind of like class content. Cool. That was okay. Anything else?
For the second, what we want to learn, to be honest, everyone knew that I will attend this class. He said, "Oh my God, really? It's very difficult." So I wanna discover which kind of this class. 350. It's like the last stage or the last stage of the writing or ESL. So I just want to know what it has, this class.
Oh, I love it.
To make it like final step of a student when they finish the ESL.
Well, that I can answer that question today, Sanat. I will answer why are you here? What do we do in this class? I will answer that question today.
Yeah,
Perfect.
because they scare me before I attend, but I said no, I will attend it because it's required. I want to know what's the difference between ESL 350 and 40, 340, 320, 310. What's the difference? So I think, on my opinion, 340 was difficult, but we pass it. I pass it.
Yeah.
Other friends, they pass it. So I just wanna, because they put this one, a 350, as like a final step of a student who they wanna finish and graduate. So I wanna know what's the difference, what it has,
I love
what
it.
we gonna do on it. Like same other classes, or there is different. At least I wish I can see one different to say, yeah, okay, 350 was had something different than other classes.
Oh, it will be different. I know that if you took 340 with Professor Foley, I know, you don't read poetry in 340. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, great. I love it. So Sanada's like an explorer. She's like, wait, there's one more class. I need to know what's going on.
Exactly. To be honest, I just want to know one different. That's it. I will be okay.
Perfect. Perfect. And like I said,
Yeah.
if people have taken classes with me before already know, I think it is so special, the fact that in our department, we have classes that transfer level ESL classes. It's really special, you guys, that we are one of the only colleges in the state of California. So it's really great. And I guess I'd say the same thing for Sydney and Abby, if you guys are still thinking, oh my God. Again, this class is in the ESL department, but really the way that I teach it is the same way I would teach and have taught in regular English departments. The difference is, like, I know what it's like for my multilingual students. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know what it is to work with students who are learning English as the second, third, fourth language. So, and you guys will see, I like that I get to think about native speakers and non-native speakers. It's kind of exciting to think about. And I see your yellow hand. Thank you, Abby. Anybody else want to add to this list? We got great answers from Sanat and Frank and Susanna and Linda. Anybody else want to add to this list? Can I ask maybe my English speakers if they want to, Sydney or Abby, when you see that word literature, for a native speaker, what does that word make you think about? If you can speak or type.
It kind of makes me think, like, my junior year, I was in AP Lang, so it kind of just makes me think about, like, I don't know if this makes sense, but like a thicker text.
Yeah, I love.
Does that make sense?
Well, I love it because I wanted to ask again, like, what's the, and this is, I think about this in my native speaker brain too, right, Sydney? Like, what's the difference between a book and like a work of literature? And is there even like, is it about thickness, like you were saying, or is it about like press?
Right, like a novel or like.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Literature is just longer books. Okay, I like.
Yeah, that's, and like bigger words.
I don't disagree with Sydney. A thicker text, so longer books, more academic words. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Amazing. Anybody else? Any last ideas before I switch gears? We will talk about this before we end class, but anything else we want to add to this list, especially what you want to learn? All right. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So I'm going to come back to this list before we finish today, like I just said, but I do want to do the business now, right? Like, what is this class? And oh my God, how did I end up here? And wait, what's after 340? And what are we going to do? So we're going to go to the syllabus review. But first, how do I want to do this? I want to start with sort of the way that I structured this class, then we'll go to the syllabus. So this part's a little boring. Hopefully you can stay focused, but whatever, turn your screen off, just listen, fold your laundry while I'm talking, whatever. But here's the basic info for how this class works. So this class, I created it using something called flexible course design. Now, what is that? So here, flexible course design is something teachers are experimenting with to help students during the COVID-19 pandemic. The idea is to allow students to complete the course at their own speed and at the days and times that work best for their personal schedule. I know at least one of us is at work right now. Now, this is why none of the lessons in our class will have due dates. This is also why there is no strict attendance, and you do not get or lose points for coming to our, this should be Monday, Zoom meetings. Last semester, it was Wednesday. Now, the major writing projects, which I'll show you that on the syllabus in a moment here, will have due dates for the first draft, but I will always give you at least 2 weeks heads up or notice before that first draft is due. Right, so again, what's my short version of this information here? we'll have one weekly Zoom meeting, right? Where I won't really lecture, but I'll present some information. I'll answer questions. I'll have something, always an activity, a lesson to show you on a Monday, but you never have to come to that Zoom class. It will always be recorded, and you can always access that recording at any time, okay? And you don't get points for attendance. You don't lose points for attendance. Lessons, like we'll talk about, maybe you already saw in Canvas because I did open them up for you. They don't have due dates. None of them do. So I will say this though, there's going to be about 15 lessons this semester. If you wait to do all 15 at the end of the semester, that will be very painful for you and for me, but you could do it, right? There's no due date. I'm just saying, try as much as you can to keep up. For example, at the last slide here, usually I'll give you some suggestions, right? I'll say, I suggest that you do these things before whatever, 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks from today. But again, they won't have strict due dates. This is again because life, family, work, sickness, COVID, whatever, we're all dealing with a lot of stuff. I don't want you to be too stressed about, oh my God, it's Sunday at midnight and I have to do that lesson. No, get some sleep, spend time with your family, whatever you got to do, right? And save your questions. I want to talk about one more slide. So that's this basic info about flexible course design. Okay. Now, since we're only meeting once a week, I am trying to make a lot of opportunity though for you to talk to me and get help if you need it. I think some people love asynchronous because they never have to log online to a Zoom, but sometimes asynchronous is like, oh my God, who do I need help? Who do I talk to? What's going on? Is there even a teacher there, right? So I'm trying to find this balance. I'm trying to find this balance in this class. So here's some explanations about when you get to talk to me or when you have to talk to me and where you can find me. So Mondays, every week, I'll be here, right? Whether you can come or not come, whatever. If you never come, you only watch the Zoom recording, that's fine, but I'll be here Mondays, 12:15 to 2:20. So here's what I'm saying about these Monday Zoom meetings. Please come to as much of our Zoom meeting as you can. So if you can only come for an hour, come for an hour. If you can come for the whole thing, come for the whole thing. Now, I'll have lecture materials to present and review things from that week's lessons and assignments. I will also answer any questions that you have about that week's lessons and assignments. Again, forgive me, you guys. All Monday Zoom recordings, all Monday Zoom meetings will be recorded and posted to Canvas. Sorry, you guys, I'm still catching up. And I will not take attendance at Monday Zoom meetings, but, and here's the most important thing here, I do expect you to watch these recordings. And I'll say this probably like 5 times today and 5 times next week, and then I'll be done. If you can't come to the Monday Zooms, that's totally fine. But you got to watch the recording, because when I grade your essays in particular, I am grading with the assumption that you have reviewed those things that I've talked about in that lesson. And if you ask me something like, hey, where's this information? Or when did you talk about this? I will smile and tell you you're amazing. And then I will say, go watch the Zoom recording from week 3. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy to answer questions, but if I've already talked about it in a Zoom, I'm going to ask you, did you watch it? And if so, go rewatch it. Okay. Any questions about Monday Zoom meetings before I talk about office hours? I see a thumbs up. Thank you, Akiko. If questions do come up, stop me, type in the chat, whatever you need to do. Okay. Otherwise, I'm moving on. All right. So outside of those Monday Zoom meetings, you're working, your kid's at school, you're stressed, you're sick, someone in your family's sick, you have to miss 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, that's totally fine, right? But if you have questions after you watch the Zoom recording, or you're confused about the assignment or whatever, there's lots of ways for you to talk to me. So Mondays before this Zoom meeting, I've got a 1 hour of office hours so that you can come talk to me before class if you need to, okay? Tuesday in the middle of the day between 2 and 4 p.m. Wednesday, 11:15 to 12:15 p.m. and then by appointment. So what does by appointment means? As I say here, if you cannot meet on these days or times, send me an email or a text message asking me to meet at another day or time, and I will do everything I can to meet with people who cannot come to these regular student hours, right? And I'll say here again, the best thing to do for all things is text me. You guys, I don't know if you guys work but if you're an ARC student, you know, you get like 30 emails just from the college a week, like just, hey, here's an announcement. Hey, this is going on. Like now imagine that you're faculty and you get like 70 a week. And then I have to try and like hunt for your email messages. I will do it. But I give you my cell phone number for a reason. It is so much easier if you can send me a text so that I can get back to you. And if it's basically like, if it's daytime, I should be able to respond within 30 minutes to an hour really quickly. If it's the weekend or I'm lazy, then it might take a little longer. But usually I can get back to you right away and answer any questions that you have right away, right? So again, the best way to contact me is text message. Email will work, I will do it, but text is much faster. These times that you see on your screen are my office hours. I'll show you how to get there in a moment. But if you can't meet at that time, you need to meet later in the evening because you work during the day or whatever, just send me a text and say, Jeff, can you meet Wednesday at 7 p.m.? And if I can, we'll do it, okay? Questions about this? Cool.
So how about the Wednesday? Wednesday is also the class, right?
No, thank you very much, Frank. And this will be clear. And thank you, Frank. Such a good question. No, if this class is listed, I think Monday, Wednesday, but honestly, and again, I will always be honest with you, I was very confused when they told the teachers the difference between synchronous, asynchronous, partially synchronous. Do you want to have some classes on campus and some on, like, there were like 7 different choices for us to code our class in Canvas or in the schedule. And it did not make sense to me. So this class is listed Monday, Wednesday, Frank, but we're only meeting Mondays, 1 day a week. So again, Abby and Sydney, people who are thinking about this class, I think one benefit of this class is it's only 1 day a week, not 2 days a week, and lots of time for you to meet me though at those other times if you have questions or need more support. Okay, does that help, Frank?
Yes. So you said Wednesday 11 to 2 o'clock or to
Wednesday 11:15 to 12:15. I will have office hours, so that, and I'll show you how to get there. That just means I'm going to show you the link. Well, I'll show you right now. If you have questions, hold on to them while I go into Canvas here real quick. I see a question in the chat too. Sanat says here.
Okay, I think
Oh, thank you, Sanat. I do my best.
I can see it.
So here's our home page, right? Here's our home page. My internet's unstable. I'm going to wait a second. Okay, here's our home page. Here's let me switch to student view so it looks how you see it. Now, I will say one last thing about this. And I don't use Canvas on my phone, so I don't know exactly what this looks like on phones. And I will do my best. I'll help you. But I will say again, the way that I created the Canvas class looks so much better on a laptop. If you have one, please use your laptop when you can. Okay, so on the homepage of our Canvas website, the newest announcement will always be up at the top. Now, this link that says Monday Zoom room link, that's how to get where we are right now. So right at 12:15 on Monday, I'll always send out an announcement with that link too. But if you want to just join the class, you can log into Canvas, go to the homepage, click the link. So that's what this Monday Zoom room link is. That's what we're doing right now. I'll talk a lot more about these 2 links in a second here. But there's me. This is what I did this summer. I got to go to Yosemite. It was insanely beautiful and amazing. And I wish I was there right now. No, it's okay. I'm happy to be here with you. And here's a direct link to my email address if you want to send me an email. Here's my phone number. Again, when I said text me, it's this number. Text me at this number. Okay. Well, I think I made a mistake too, Frank, about our my Wednesday hours. I've got 2 office hours that day. Office hours listed here, Wednesday, 11:15 to 12:15, Tuesday 2 to 4, and it's Wednesday 10 to 12:15. Excuse me again. I never make mistakes. That's one thing you'll love about me as a teacher, you guys. I never make mistakes. Okay, now when I say you want to come meet me at 10:15 on a Wednesday, all you have to do, this link right here, click this link. I can't click it because if I do, it'll end this class. But this link that says student hours Zoom room, anytime, Monday, any of these times, right? Click that link and I'll be there. Otherwise, if you want to meet at another time, send me a text. Does that answer your question, Frank?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Of course. Any other questions? I know I talk fast, so please tell me to stop and slow down. Any other ideas or questions? You might be able to hear the construction now beeping outside. I can.
Yes, it's around me.
It's around you. It's around me too.
Yes, it's around me too.
I hear beep.
And I share like I close the window, but still I hear them. And two sides, like from this complex and the other one. A lot of construction.
Oh, what a dream. Okay, this makes sense. Mondays, only one day a week, and then contact me and then click this. If you want to come to office hours, student office hours, whatever you want to call them, click this link right here on the homepage. Makes sense.
And just like on Wednesday, we just like to do our homework, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. The idea is
Yeah.
you've got time, exactly right. So
Yes.
if you took this class thinking you had 4 hours of class, well, hopefully the good news is now you've got 2 hours on Wednesday to do the work for this class instead of sitting in front of,
Yeah.
instead of sitting in Zoom.
Like you did with us last semester, I think, when
Yeah,
we have the grammar. Yeah, we did like the same thing.
That's exactly right, Linda. This is how I've done. This is how I've done. I
It's
honestly,
better for us.
I think 2 days a week of Zoom it's way too much. It's way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you're too tired to do the assignments. I mean, I know how this goes. You get some compliment. Thank you, Susanna. Anybody else? All right, I'm going to keep going then. I think it might be time to look at the syllabus together. Oh, okay, actually, let's just continue on to the Canvas tour, as I'm calling it here. So again, this is your homepage. I've tried to create our Canvas page so that you can access absolutely everything you need from the 2 most important links, right? One is this homepage. When you click the homepage, you kind of get everything in front of you in one easy place. That's the goal. That's the plan. And I wanted to show you these 2 links, right? So one says underneath our Monday Zoom room link. So that's how you join this meeting. You click live support materials, and that's where I will post the link to the Zoom recording and how you can access the PowerPoint presentations, right? Every week I will post after every Zoom meeting, I'll post the link to the Zoom recording and I will post the PowerPoint presentations. You can access them all on this page. As you see, here's today's date, right? But there's no links because we haven't finished the class today, but that's where you will find it. If we watch a video in class, if I share some document in class, if I post some links to websites in whatever, anything that I share in a live Zoom recording, it will show up here on that link, again, that says live support materials, and it will be listed underneath the day of that Zoom recording, okay? So that's what live support materials is. Now, again, after every class and when those recordings are ready, I will also post an announcement to Canvas saying, hey, everybody, the Zoom recording is ready. You can access it now. So you'll get information about when it is ready for you to see it as well. Questions about live support materials? This will probably be better to look at next week on Monday when I've posted some things to that page, okay? Then I've got a link here that says course materials, PDFs, audio, etc. Again, if you took grammar with me like Linda, if you took 325 with Susanna, the design, the way I laid this out will look very similar. But basically, I've got a lot of material and resources for you guys here. Some of these things we will use, some we may not use, but I will tell you right now, starting in week 3, we'll start to do poetry, right? I'm not making you buy a book, a textbook about poetry. I'm not, none of that stuff, but I do have PDFs. If I ask you to read anything or watch videos, I've got all that stuff here, right? So here it says, The River Speaks, poetry book. So if you see a discussion assignment and it says read chapter 1 or watch the chapter 1 video, this is where it all lives, right? Under course materials. And just again, Linda, just like in grammar class, for many of the resources in this class, I've got videos of myself sort of, let me see if I can post this for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they were so helpful for us.
I'm happy to hear
like
that.
In grammar class.
Good. And it's me sort of reading through the text for you, trying to give you some examples. And again, especially for this class, because so much of the work we do in Zoom, in online classes is you do it alone. I've tried to give you video or audio recording so that hopefully it feels like I'm there with you. If you need me, I'm sort of reading along with you and answering questions with you. That's the way that I've tried to design this class. And again, we'll look at all of this when we need to access these materials. But here you see the Lay of Heaven. This is one of the books we'll read. I've got I've recorded myself reading the entire book for you, just like I did for Hyperfocus, Susanna. So lots of resources, lots of materials. You don't really need to worry about this today because I'm not going to ask you to do any big reading for next week. But when I say, oh, the live support materials page, or oh, the course materials page, that's what I'm talking about. Live support materials, Zoom recordings and PowerPoints, course materials, that'd be PDFs, audio recordings, YouTube videos, or anything that I ask you to do sort of to help you complete one of the assignments. Any questions about that stuff? Cool. I already feel like I'm talking too much. Okay. Now, the other thing that I put on the homepage for you is this big picture of the map that says course syllabus. This is how you access, the syllabus. So if you click that map, it'll take you to the syllabus here. You can look at it on the screen or you can download it. I've already downloaded it, so I'm going to open it up here for us. Cool. All this info up at the top here, right? My contact information, my phone number, my email, the office hours, all that stuff, that's all the same that I already showed you, but it's all up here at the top of the syllabus. Now, so I am just going to take a minute to read through the first page of the syllabus. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but again, stay with me and save your questions, and this will be a little bit boring, but sometimes we just got to do it. Okay, course description. I want to begin the semester by recognizing all of the history, strength, creativity, and knowledge that you already bring to this class. Take a minute to think, where do you come from? How'd you get here? Who helped you become the person you are today? You carry all of these places, people, and experiences with you, and I want you to think about them if you ever doubt yourself this semester. This class is made up of a diverse group of human beings, and therefore we have many different ways of knowing the world. I hope that we can use all these different types of knowledge as we read and write new things so that you can work toward our class learning goals. This semester, I'll ask you to try on a lot of new ideas and skills. You might like some and really dislike others. That is great. I only ask that you imagine each experience as a different way to understand and read the world. When we do this, we won't be reading and writing to just learn the one right answer. Instead, we'll be reading and writing to create our own shared meaning as a class. And in this way, we'll be active creators of our own learning. When we do this, I believe that we are more likely to use our voices to reflect and act upon the world in order to make it a more beautiful place. So in addition to some of the materials that I've already posted to Canvas, we do have 2 required texts. I've got them here They're not too long, they're not too expensive, and I really hope and pray that you will enjoy them and look at them on your bookshelf and be happy. I try not to make you buy something unless I really, really love it, and I really, really love both of these books. So I've given you the title and the author's name and the ISBN, so you can buy them from the ARC bookstore, you can buy them from Amazon, whatever. I think if you buy them new, did anyone look or did anyone, I know I just opened up the Canvas
Yes.
yesterday, but anybody, yeah, please tell me.
Like there, you can buy it and you can rent it too. So I ordered as a rent.
Perfect.
It's not expensive.
Was it easy?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Anybody else have the chance to look at this yet or anything, any other ideas about the book? We're not going to use the book until at least probably week 4. So you've got plenty of time. I'm going to start with the free stuff. So you've got plenty of time to order the books. But again, it's not right on Amazon. I think it's, oh, I'm sorry. I've switched into Spanish. Did anyone see how expensive it is on Amazon? I think it's like 13 or 14 bucks and the other book's about the same. Anybody see? Cool. If not, that's all good. Any ideas, questions, or concerns about the books?
I think I have some.
Yeah,
but I have
please.
to find the book first. The Pearl book. Does it have to be like that specific?
No.
I mean the edition.
No, it doesn't. If you find a cheaper version, a used version, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I think
You honestly, I didn't look, but you may be able to find a PDF online. It's a really short, it's an older book and it's really quite short. But I think it's, for me, if it gets too long, I like to have paper. So however you find it, whatever edition, new, used, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, yeah, because I think I have the other edition, but I'm just
All good.
not sure.
Totally. That's all good.
Okay.
Edition doesn't matter. Great question. Any other questions about the 2 textbooks? Let me show you again. The Pearl and the Lathe of Heaven. Both of these are fiction, but sort of different styles. But both of these are fiction. One's a short story. One's kind of like a little novel. Any other questions about the book before I continue with the syllabus? All right, I'll continue with the syllabus. Other materials that you need. So you do need a computer, laptop, Chromebook, tablet, or phone with reliable internet access. Now, I cannot make you use a computer or a laptop, but I do think it will be much easier for you to write essays if you type them on a real keyboard instead of typing on a phone, right? Even if we're only writing 3 or 4 page papers, 4 pages is a lot to type on your phone, you guys. Cool. And there's a note here. I know we've been doing this online for a year now, so probably people have something. But if you really are in a tough position and you need help or you need some stuff with technology, there are some Chromebooks and some options for students. If you need help with any of the technology stuff, again, just stay after and talk to me because ARC can help you. And you might have already gotten an email about this. All right, assignments and grading. So, oh, I see a comment in the chat here, excuse me.
May I ask how many pages is the book, The Pearl?
Let's see, and I see Katie's a question, I'll do it. My edition is 90 pages.
Okay, mine is 176.
Maybe it's thicker. I'm thinking of sitting now. They just made it thicker to look more impressive. Yeah, this doesn't look like literature. You know what I mean? This book's
just like this one is ending and the music of the pearl drifted to a whisper.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
It could just be different, bigger fonts or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Khadijah's just saying that the technology, she can't hear me too great. That's totally fine, Khadijah. Whatever you need to do, take care of yourself. Okay, so a little bit about the grading, assignments and grading. So here I'm at major writing projects, 600 points. So there are 3 major writing assignments this semester. First is the poetry project, that's worth 200 points. Then the literature project, worth 200 points. And the creative writing project, 200 points. Additional information for every assignment will be posted in Canvas with instructions, due dates, a grading rubric, and I always give you at least 2 weeks notice before an assignment is due. Then there are lessons in Canvas, which we'll look at in just a moment here. The lessons are up to 300 points. So I'll ask you to complete a variety of lessons in Canvas this semester, quizzes, discussions, writing assignments to help you learn and practice new ideas. Each lesson can be worth up to 50 points. Lessons will not have specific due dates, and you can complete them whenever it is best for you and your own schedule. Then there is a final exam. Again, if you took a class with me, you know the final exam is more of a final reflection activity, but per ARC rules and policy, I am required, right? They make the teachers give you guys timed final exams. So you're going to have at least 24 hours to complete the final exam. The test will open in Canvas at 8 a.m. on the day of the test, and your exam will be due at 8 a.m. the next day. But again, last semester I gave students even more, like it was timed for 72 hours. You will not be able to revise or resubmit the final exam though. That's a difference with the other major writing assignments. And I'll post much more information in Canvas with due dates, instructions, and a grading rubric for that final exam. So as you can see, the big majority of your grade for this class are 3 sort of big writing projects. So like I'm thinking of Sanad's question about what's the difference with this class. You know, I think because this is a transfer level course, I'm not asking you to do like 20 small assignments. I think sometimes that can feel like busy work. I'm really asking you to focus so that when you do work in this class, you're really working on 3 assignments that I think, hopefully, will help you learn and practice a lot of new and interesting ideas. So as you think about how to balance your time, this is just sort of my suggestion. The lessons, do them fast. Do you know what I mean? Like, just knock them out. When we get to those major writing assignments, you know, the more time you can spend, 2 or 3 hours to write instead of 30 minutes to write, the better. That's one thing I've learned about teaching these higher level writing classes. Any questions about these 3 types of assignments? Cool. Now, that's a great way for me to switch and transition to lessons, because there are 3 more pages here. This is boring, but 2 more. I got it down to 2 more. Okay, this is boring but important. So I am going to ask you to read these appendices, these things that come at the end of the document. Excuse me, Appendix A, Appendix B. I'm going to ask you to read these on your own, because they are actually a part of the first group of lessons for this class. So the other most important thing in Canvas, as I go back to our site, is here's the homepage. You can get there a bunch of ways, you guys, assignments, grades, whatever. In class, I'm almost always going to click on modules. And here you can see the first module I've called Learning the Class, and there are 5 lessons that are available for you to look at and start right now, right? Now, I'm just going to look at lesson 4 and lesson 5 because it's where I ask you to look at the syllabus and answer some questions. So if you go, I'm just going to go back here. So you're on the module page, Learning the Class. I click on lesson 4. And then just like you've done, I'm sure in other classes, or if you're new to ARC, maybe you haven't, that's fine. Happy to show you. Click Take the Quiz. And all of these quizzes, like how many Zoom meetings do we have each week? All of the answers to these quiz questions, right, are on page 3 and page 4 of the syllabus, right? So when you look at lesson 4 and 5, here I am in lesson 4, all of this information will be in the syllabus. Let's start with an easy one though, because I already answered this. How many Zoom meetings do we have each week?
1.
Thank you. Right. And what day is our Zoom meeting?
Monday.
Perfecto. And that's it, right? So again, these lessons in Canvas, usually I give you 2 or 3 attempts at them. They are not supposed to be scary. The lessons in Canvas are sort of a way for me to reinforce or help teach what I've already talked about, either in a reading or in a Canvas Zoom. Okay, so that's what lesson 4 and lesson 5 are all about. Questions about lesson 4, lesson 5, and reading through the rest of the syllabus?
It's easy.
I think so too. Well, I hope so, because that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be easy. We'll save the hard stuff for like week 4 and 5. You know what I mean? We got to start soon. Okay, so then I'll show you lessons 1 and 2 then as well. Again, if you've taken a class with me, this will look very familiar.
Yeah.
One is this.
When I click it,
Go ahead.
I said when I click it, it's already there, my name. So should I redo it again, or
Did you already do it?
I tried yesterday. Then when I click it, it's already there, my name, and even I click it, it's already there. So should I redo it again, or I don't have to?
That's a great question, Linda. Let me look at it. First, I'll present this to the people who might not have seen it before, and then I'll check that for you, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah, so lesson 1 is name coach. So this is how I know what you want me to call you, right? This is to help me. So you'll use the name coach tool to record your name as you want me to say it or pronounce it. If you have a nickname, record your nickname. Easy, small example, right? My legal name, my full name is Jeffrey, but I like people to call me Jeff. So I would just say Jeff, you know. So record your name exactly as you want me to call you this semester. You can use the photos below. Here's my picture from two years ago, I think. I don't even remember. And I'm just sort of showing you how to find it here. But if you go to on the side, name coach, and usually you can do this. I know why, hold on. So now I'm going to be able to answer Linda's question. But sorry, everybody, my internet slowed down. Yep, Linda, I've got you.
Yeah.
And let me.
I don't have to do.
No, you don't have to do it again. Use separate audio. I just want to make sure.
We have to do it.
Yep, I got you. Linda's good. You do. You're not in here yet.
I have to.
I don't know. Maybe Linda, you did it already or it transferred over, but I've got Linda, Fawad, and Tahmina. So you guys are great. 10 points. Congratulations. You're done with lesson 1.
Thank you.
So that's all I'm asking you to do for lesson 1. Any questions about lesson 1?
How about me, Frank?
I don't see your name. Did you just do it, Frank?
No, I didn't.
That's fine. So that's the first, that's all you got to do. Click right here where it says name coach. And then on your computer, on your phone, there'll be a button that says record, start to record media. All you got to do is record your name. It's easy, right, Linda?
Professor, do you see my name?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Hold on, let me check. People are doing this. I think it wouldn't let me do it because I'm using my microphone to talk to you all right now. You know what I'm saying? Who else can I see? Susanna, I got you. You're done. Who else was asking if I could see them? This is what I can see. I can see Linda, Fawad, Tahmina, and Susanna. That's who I can see right now. I think everyone's just doing it right now.
I didn't do it. I was like just transferred.
It's all good. I'm gonna wait like another minute and then I'll show you lesson 2 and 3. Perfect. All right, so I've talked about lesson 4 and 5, the quizzes to help you review the syllabus. I've talked about lesson 1, the name coach. Anything about those 3 things? 3, 2, 1, moving on. All right, we're almost there. You're almost done. You almost made it through this first day of business here. Lesson 2 is where I get to read your writing, some of my favorite parts of the semester, right? So this assignment is a chance for me to learn a little bit about you, and it will also allow me to read some of your writing without you worrying about getting grades, corrections, or feedback. I want you to write me a 400-word minimum letter that answers the following questions. And if you've already done these questions, think, have they changed since you did this last semester? 1, who are you? 2, how did you get to ASC? 3, what is a goal you have this semester? 4, what is the best class you've ever taken and why was it so good? And 5, what is a dream you have for your life? And then I ask you to look at the introduction letter, excuse me.
Yeah, your example.
Yes, example. I did make some changes to my letter because, you know, life changes. If you look at the letter here.
I know.
So here's my letter. I wrote 750 words, because I want you to learn more about me.
Mhm.
And if you don't know me yet, this is a way for you to learn about me. But I'm asking you to write me 400 words, just read my example letter and follow that format, follow that template, and just submit it to me. And I'll tell you this, if you write 400 words, you're getting the 20 points, right? I'm not looking at grammar, spelling. I'm not doing any of that. When I'm checking your grammar, your format, your structure, I'll let you know, right? But this is a chance to just write with no stress about making a mistake, whatever, you know, set a 30-minute timer, type 400 words and hopefully enjoy it. Have fun.
Yeah, like a free writing.
It's basically free writing, right?
Mhm.
And hopefully you enjoy reading a little bit about me and reading a little bit, you know, who your teacher is going to be this semester. And again, just like if you're new to ARC, the way you'll do that is click start assignment, and then it will ask you to upload a file, right? You can use also, if you use Google Docs and not, oh, here, if it's linked to your Google Drive, you can just submit it in Google Drive. If you've linked to a Google Doc, you can just copy and paste that URL. If you write in Microsoft Word, you can just upload that Microsoft Word file, right? So again, I think for a lot of you, this is going to be easy, but if it's your first semester online and you need some help with how to submit assignments, same thing, just let me know. I am happy to help, okay? Questions about lesson 2? So much business, day 1. Okay, modules, one more thing to show you, and then we might even end early today, you guys. Lesson 3. So this is a discussion. Oh, I should show you the instructions here. Yeah, hold on. Linda and Susanna, I'm trying new things with discussions, so that will be a little different this semester because I still haven't figured out how to do it in a way that I like it.
Discussions.
Yeah, I know, like if you're taking asynchronous, I feel like discussions is like all college now is just Canvas discussion posts. Okay, so I'm going to show you the discussion post and guidelines. I'll talk about that. But basically, whenever I have a discussion assignment for you guys to do, it'll basically look like this, right? I'll say, read the instructions and the rubric and the guidelines, and then answer questions in the prompt below. Right? So here I'm going to show you the guidelines and then I'll tell you what I'm asking you to do. I'm trying to keep it simpler, you guys. Okay, so for all of your discussion posts, all discussions are worth up to 20 points, and I've tried to make this easier for you and for me in this class. So this semester, you will write several Canvas discussions so that you can connect and share ideas. So first, your first post will be your own response, and you're going to answer the questions that I ask you to in that discussion activity. So I'm asking you to write at least 150 words. Enough people complained and said 200 was too many that I said, okay, 150, that's fine. And yes, I will count your words if your post looks too short. Make sure that you directly respond to my prompt, not some other idea or opinion. In other words, answer the question I ask you, not just some other question. Answer all the questions. So if you see 3 question marks, you've got 3 questions to answer. And then ask a question that you still have about the prompt, the topic, or ideas that I gave you. Now, I'm going to be pretty generous here. Even if it's not a question, if you just say, I still don't understand this, or this is still a little confusing, or I loved this idea, it was so wonderful. Just some kind of personal response instead of you just answering my specific questions, okay? Then I want you to write just one thoughtful reply to your classmates. I want that reply to be 50 words long. And maybe in your reply, you answer the question that the person asked, or maybe you just share your own opinion. The only thing I don't want is, yay, I like it, you're so cool, you're so smart, thumbs up, right? Say something a little bit more specific. Even if you say, I totally agree with you, Frank, say, I totally agree with you, Frank, because, and then give me 50 words. And this is where I tried to make this even more simple, you guys. So it's up to 20 points, and your post is 10 points. And your reply is 10 points as well. And I'll tell you something, the way that I'm trying to think about this especially is, if you meet the word minimum, you'll probably get full credit, right? But if it's under 150 words, if it's under 50 words for the reply, that's when you're gonna lose points. That's when you're gonna lose points. Last semester, I tried to look at grammar and it was too much. So I'm trying to make this a little bit simpler. Now, we'll talk about these instructions and this rubric more because we'll do more than one discussion activity. Pardon me. But these are the instructions in the rubric for all of the discussions we'll have this semester. So any questions about how to do discussions this semester?
I have a question, but not about how, about like, should we write the answer as an order, like a 1, 2, 3, or just like a whole writing?
Great question.
Together.
Whatever you want. You know what I mean, Linda? I mean, sometimes whatever is easier. Some students feel like 1, 2, 3 is easy, and some students feel like it's easier to just type a paragraph where you address or you answer all the questions. So totally up to you, Linda.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, again, another thing I'm trying this semester is keep the lessons, keep the discussions short and easy, right? Save the most time what I really want for you to, when you think about, okay, let's say I have 4 hours to spend on ESL 350. I really want most of that time spent on reading. And then when we have writing projects, working on the writing projects. So keep whatever you do for the discussions, Linda, keep it easy.
Okay, I will.
I mean, answer the questions. I mean, I'm asking you to think about these questions because I think it's interesting to think about, but I don't want you to feel like you need to spend 2 hours on a discussion post. I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
No, I don't do that. Like but I like to do like the whole thing. I don't like to make it on order because sometimes the 2 questions are related to each other. Yeah.
I'm like you, Linda. I'm like you. And I think some students say the opposite. They just love, okay, question 1, I'll answer question 1. Question 2, I'll answer question 2. But I'm like you, Linda. I just want to sort of start typing and
yeah.
My brain is not very linear. Like I don't always go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I'll start at 1 and then I jump to 4 and then I come back to 1. You know what I mean? So I think it's just
so I just like switch maybe the answers, but it's all the whole things together.
Totally makes sense. Great question. Any other questions about the instructions before I show you what I'm asking you to do for discussion 1? Cool. So in discussion 1, right, and this is sort of a nice way to transition a little bit to what we're doing in this class here. Like Sanad was saying, what are we doing here? Why does this class exist? This class, I think, for me, literature, I love what Sydney said about literature is just extra academic words. I think that makes sense. But I do think literature at the very heart of it is really about stories, right? And about sharing stories. And I love teaching this class because you don't need to think about how to present a story, either how to read a story or how to write your own story. You don't need to think about how to do that in an academic way, like in English 300 or in ESLW 340. There are very strict academic rules, right? For the structure, the organization, the type of language you use, the type of reporting verbs. There's all these strict rules, right? About what a good writing looks like. this class, I think it's much more important to think about what is a good story, right? Because even if you use big academic words, even if you have a long, thick book, if you don't tell that story well, it doesn't matter, you know? And stories are so important to human beings. And I think this class lets us start to think about that in a way that maybe we haven't been able to in the past. So what I'm asking you to do is watch this YouTube video about human beings and why they tell stories. And I'll open this in a new tab here. I thought maybe we could watch it together, but I think I should just let you watch it on your own. And again, everything that I link on YouTube will have closed captions and subtitles, right? It's not a listening quiz, so make your life easy. I want you to understand the video. I'm not testing your ability to understand it. So I want you to watch this video and then answer these two questions. So one, according to the video, what's one reason stories are so important for human beings? And two, how did this video change your perception of what stories are and what they do? And I always say, if the answer to that question is it didn't, it was boring, that's fine. Just tell me why not, right? I knew all these things, I'd already studied this or something in the past, right? Just give me a little more information and context if you're like, well, nothing really. So I'm going to leave that there and leave the video for you. But before we finish up, and we will end a little bit early today, I'd love to hear from some of you about this idea, just as a way to sort of get ready to watch the video. What do you think about stories? And especially if you have kids, right? You know how important stories are. What do you think about stories, and why do you think humans love them so much? Like, why do you think they're so important across time for human beings? This is no wrong answer, just I'd love to have a quick discussion about stories. What are they? Why are they important? What do you think?
I just got my connection back, so I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, of course. Or I made the mistake, I said go home early and everyone's already like, oh God, let's go now.
I think just people love stories because it has sometimes, you know, with the happy ending, you know, it makes people happy, you know. People might get, I mean, they are curious, they have interest to know, you know.
That's interesting. Susanna's comment there makes me think about, because they have a happy ending. So that made me think about, well, humans like stories for some emotional reason, right?
Yeah.
Like stories give us a feeling.
Exactly. It's like, you know, it produces this hormone, and it just like you know, it makes feel good.
I love it. Cool. So Susanna's talking about stories and feelings, which is really cool, really interesting. I love it. I love it. I see it. There's a comment in the chat. Let me check. Abby's saying, I think humans like stories because there's a way to relate to them, I guess. You don't have to tell a story you like it because it's not alive, but you can still relate to it. Really nice. Okay. I love, well, I see Sanad's typing in the chat. Keep it coming in the chat, you guys. So I love Abby's comment there. I think humans like stories. There's a way to relate to them. Now, Abby didn't say this in her comment, but when I see that word relate, I think about connection. So human stories are a way to sort of make a connection between two people, or make an understanding between two people, or like she said, to relate to people. So Susanna was talking about stories can give us some feeling, some emotion. Abby's talking about stories as a way to relate to other people, make a connection to other people. I love it. I see Sanad's comment because most of them believe on it, and most of stories talk about real life. Now that's very interesting. Sanad's sort of talking about real life stories because that makes me think about, okay, stories are a way for us to learn about real life, or understand real life, or even just sort of know what happens.
Get to know experience about.
Go ahead, Linda.
Or got to know, like I said, like according to what the Senate she wrote, I feel like when it's real life, to let the readers or readers to know or about their experience or about the writer experience, if it's real, sometimes if it's a real story.
I love it. So Linda's sort of talking there too about if it's a real story or a fictional story, that might change how people feel and how people connect to that story as well. I love that. I love that. I love that. Good. I see Akiko says, sometimes I want to sympathize with other people's stories. And I think I love that, Akiko. I think that's sort of what Linda was saying there too. Depending on the story or depending on what we want, maybe that story makes us able to have a feeling or sympathize as we connect and relate to that person's story. I'm using that word relate like Abby did in the chat. I like that a lot. Good, I love that. So things I'm thinking about when I'm hearing your responses, connection and relating to other people. Stories give us some feeling. Akiko saying especially sympathize or understand. And Linda was talking about, well, if it's a true story or a fictional story, that might change the way we connect to those stories or the feeling that we have about those stories, which I think I totally agree, Linda. I think
yes,
anybody else? Great answers so far. I'm going to ask one more question, then we'll finish up here. Especially for people who have kids, can you talk about stories and kids? What did you see with young children in stories? Oh, did I lose my internet? You guys still with me?
I didn't catch the question.
I'm sorry, I think my internet got really slow. Can you hear me now, you guys?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was set perfect. So maybe the internet wants us to end early too. My question is the last question, and then we'll finish up for today. The question was for people who have children, right? Kids and stories. This is really important. So what do you notice, or what did you see with your own kids or kids in your family? I always think it's very interesting to think about how kids connect to stories too. I think that tells it. I think it's really interesting. Any ideas about kids and stories? Why do kids love stories so much? What do you think?
That's a very interesting, at the same time, very tricky question.
Yeah, it's not a one short, easy answer, I don't think.
Because remembering me being a kid, I did not like reading. I was more in, I mean, I was a tomboy, so I was always out and about, kicking some guys' butts, but yeah. So I never liked reading and I never liked stories, but you know, when you get older, it just changes. But with my kids, I never asked them that question, but I noticed one thing. My son, when he reads some story, he just he gets excited. It's like his imagination. He uses his imagination, and you know, I don't know. It's again tied to a feeling. You know what I mean. It's just like the feelings.
I love it.
He likes it. It makes him feel like you know, use his imagination and creativity and feel he's a part of it.
I love it. Cool. Yeah. I love Susanna was saying she didn't like stories, but her son does. That's awesome. And then I see some, I think everything Susanna said is really interesting and makes sense. There's great comments in the chat too. Sanad says, they grew up and their tongue became taller than them. I don't know if that's an idiom or I love it, or that's like poetry. Their tongue became taller. That is really cool. Is that an idiom, Sanat?
We use it back home like this.
I was
It's
gonna say,
like
it sounds
idiom.
like translation. It sounds like translation of an idiom to me.
Yes, I can. I can say it in an idiom and like back home,
I love
but
it.
it's like this. The explanation like this. So they started to talking expressions, answering without feeling shy when we were at their their age.
Mhm.
When we were like young, we were kind of like shy. Um, we don't answer adult, but now they answer, they polite, but they answer and we say like, we look at them open eyes. Oh my God, she grow up and she started to complain and answer what we say. So
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes we laugh, but not in front of them. Like I don't have kids, but my nephew and niece, they living with me.
Yes.
And when they talk and answer, and they have the right to answer and ask and talk and complain. And sometimes, most of the times, when they talk and answer, I look to their mom and she said, "See, look at her. She grew up and she started complain and answer."
Oh
Say,
my.
yes, they are.
How old? How old are they, Sanat?
The boy is 9,
Okay.
and the girl is about to go to 7 years.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like that too. I live with my sister. I live with my 3 nephews. They're 6 and 4 and a year and a half. Yeah. And the 6-year-old, it is different right now. It's like, oh, this 6, when did you just start
When
saying
she
no
grow
to
up,
everything?
exactly, yes. Yeah. We have a daycare at my home.
Yeah.
It's for my sister and my mom.
Yeah.
And one of our daycare kids, he came to our daycare when he was 2 years and a half. And now he's attending the school, I
Okay.
think 5 years. So he didn't speak till he get 4. He wasn't to speak anything.
Nothing until 4. That, wow. Okay.
Till
And
4.
but
When
now,
he came to our daycare, he started to speaking when he saw my nephew and niece. They teach him. They were talking always with him. So he started to collect his information, everything, and now like bomb, he threw it like bomb on us. He speak everything.
is that, Sanat, is that when you're grew up taller than their tongue? Or when?
Yes, exactly same. So
I see.
like it's happened, but I can't say in English. We call him like his name is Fahad,
Uh-huh.
and we call him Fufu.
Uh-huh.
And we have, I don't know if you tried Middle Eastern food, falafel.
Yeah.
So my sister, because she loves him so much, she always call him falafel.
That is a cute.
So my mom made us falafel one of day's lunch, and she said, I made a falafel and it was very delicious, and he was busy with his iPad and lay down on the couch. So mom was complaining that she said other restaurant falafel is not delicious like mine.
Oh.
He directly, professor, he directly look at her. Bibi, it's mean like my grandmom.
Yeah.
Bibi, you say you don't like me? She said, "Oh my God!" He thought that she was talking about him,
About him.
but she was talking about the food.
That is.
So it's like this one.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
Cool. Falafel's a fun nickname. I like that. That is a cute and delicious nickname. But I love that idea that just to connect back to this idea of stories, I do love the idea that, like, and Susanna touched on this too, how we think about stories might change, right? Like especially with children, when they grow, you know, every day is different, let alone, you know, 4 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old. But then, like Susanna was saying, how we think and feel about stories or our own language, that can shift and change too, right? And then Khadija says, kids can imagine themselves the hero in each story, and that helps them to know how to be in the future like them. Now, Khadija, this is like a perfect way for me to end class today, because this is the idea of stories as teaching and learning, right? Stories as a place that you can learn how people are, or see how heroes are in the story, and then they try to act like that in real life. Now, I'm not going to tell you that there's only one reason humans tell stories. You're going to see some interesting ideas in the YouTube video that I ask you to watch. But I will say this idea of stories are important for humans to learn and then like apply that learning to their life. I think that's a really cool and interesting idea. And I really love that you talked about that, Khadija, because it connects this idea of learning to, like Susanna was talking about, like creativity and imagination, right? I imagine myself as the hero in this story. And when I use my imagination, I'm kind of learning what those people, you know, what happens, what the hero does, right? So I think especially for kids, you get this really interesting intersection or meeting place of creativity and learning. I think. I'm not a child psychologist, but I've thought a lot about stories. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Great sort of easy, hopefully, introduction to start thinking about stories, because that's the way, at least for this week and next week, whether you're here with me and we're wrapping up or you're watching the recording on Zoom, this first week or two, I really want you to think about literature means stories, right? We're going to get there, like Sydney. We're going to get to thicker, you know, we're going to read, we're going to read a novel. We're going to analyze the novel. We're going to do that kind of stuff. But at the beginning, I really want you to reframe and think about literature as a sort of fancy academic word for stories and why they're so important. That's the place I like to start. So what's coming up, right? Coming up, my suggestion is that if you can do this before next Monday, I think that's great. If not, that's fine. You've got time. So what I'm suggesting is buy the books. But again, we're not going to use The Pearl will be the first book we use, and we won't use it until at least week 4. We're doing poetry before we do novels, okay? And then complete lessons 1 through 5, right? Lesson 1 is the name coach. 2 is the introduction letter. Discussion 1 is what we just talked about, the stories. And lesson 4 or 5 is just a little more time for you to read and review the syllabus, okay? So any questions about what's coming up, about these first 5 lessons? Anything I can answer for you before we finish up today? So I know I'm going to talk to Sydney and Abby. If there's anyone else who wants to stay and ask any specific questions at the end, please, you are welcome to do so. But otherwise, I'm going to stop the recording right here unless there's any questions that might be useful for everybody. So last call.
Yep.
Booyah. I'm going to stop the recording and then I'll say goodbye. So hopefully I'll see you guys next Monday. But for now, I'm going to stop the recording.